Welcome back to A World with AI. Today, we're diving into something pretty huge, a massive shift in military strategy. The US War Department is making a radical bet on artificial intelligence, and they're not just tinkering around the edges. We're talking about a complete overhaul of their entire playbook, designed to dominate the future of warfare. So, let's get right into it. And look, this quote from Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, it really says it all. We will become an AI-first warfighting force. That's not a suggestion, that's a declaration. This isn't some slow, gradual evolution. It's a full-on sprint to ensure American military AI dominance. And believe me, the stakes could not be higher. All right, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to start with what this whole AI-first mandate is all about. Then we'll get into the real meat of it, the 7 key projects making it happen. From there, we'll explore what warfighting at machine speed actually looks like, break down the new speed wins doctrine, and finally, we'll pull it all together to see how this redefines modern warfare as we know it. Okay, first up, the AI First Mandate. Now, it is so important to get this right from the start. This is not just about getting some shiny new tech. No, this is a fundamental reimagining of how the military operates from the ground up. From the back office logistics all the way to the tip of the spear on the front lines. And they're literally calling this a race. Why? Because the Pentagon is keenly aware that the most mind-blowing AI breakthroughs right now aren't happening in secret government labs. They're coming out of the commercial world, companies like Google, OpenAI, and xAI. So the whole strategy is to harness that incredible private sector innovation and speed to forge a military advantage that's not just decisive, but lasting. So, a big vision is great, but how do you actually make it happen, right? That's where these 7 pace-setting projects, or PSPs for short, come into play. Honestly, you can think of them as the engine driving this entire strategy. They're the concrete nuts and bolts blueprint for this massive AI overhaul. And here they are, the whole shebang. You can see they're neatly split into 3 big areas: warfighting, intelligence, and the enterprise. That's the internal business side of things. What's really key here is that each of these projects has one person in charge and super aggressive timelines. The whole point is to force a new, faster pace for the entire department. These are the tangible projects that are supposed to make this whole AI dream a reality. I'll pause for a sec so you can take it all in. Okay, let's zoom in on what is probably the most futuristic, almost science fiction part of this whole strategy. We're talking about the 3 projects specifically designed to change how battles are actually fought. This is where that phrase, warfighting at machine speed, starts to feel very, very real. First up, Swarm Forge. And right away, forget the idea of one soldier with a joystick flying one drone. That's old news. We are talking about mastering combat with and against autonomous swarms. Imagine hundreds, maybe even thousands of drones, all coordinated by a single AI, moving together to overwhelm an enemy. It requires very little direct human input. It's a whole new playbook for maneuver warfare. Then we have the agent network. Now this one is a major mindbender. It's about seeing AI not just as a passive tool you use, but as a proactive partner. The goal is to unleash AI agents that can do everything from helping plan an entire campaign down to executing the final step in a kill chain. The key phrase they use is an agentic teammate. That means an AI that doesn't just wait for orders, but can actually take initiative inside that decision-making loop. Wild. And the third one, Ender's Foundry. Yeah, just like the book, is all about perfecting your strategy before the first shot is even fired. The idea is to use AI to run thousands and thousands of complex battle simulations. It creates this super fast feedback loop between what you test in the virtual world and how you prepare for real-world operations. It's all about finding the winning move before the game even starts, to outthink and outmaneuver your opponent. Okay, so having all this futuristic tech is one thing, but, making it actually work inside a massive bureaucracy, that requires a cultural revolution. And that brings us to the speed wins doctrine. This is all about changing the entire mindset of the Pentagon, forcing it to adopt what they're calling a wartime approach to innovation. And this quote from Undersecretary Emil Michael, man, it just perfectly nails the new philosophy. What it all boils down to is this: in the AI era, victory doesn't just go to the strongest, it goes to the fastest learner, the one who adapts the quickest. The military simply can't afford to operate on those old, decade-long development timelines anymore. They have to move at the speed of Silicon Valley. So how do you actually enforce that kind of speed? Well, here's a fantastic example. They've created something called the AI model parity rule.
It's simple, but it's radical. It mandates that the military has to get the newest, most powerful commercial AI models into the hands of its people within 30 days of them being released to the public. 30 days. Gone are the days of working with tech that's 5 years old.
And to make sure nothing gets in the way, they've set up something called a barrier removal board. And its job is exactly what it sounds like. It's basically a team whose only purpose is to find and smash through bureaucratic red tape. They have the power to waive rules and escalate problems straight to the top if anything is slowing down the rapid deployment of AI. It's a wrecking ball for bureaucracy. And let's not forget about the sheer scale of this whole thing. I mean, it is massive. Remember that GenAI.mil project from the chart? That single project is responsible for rolling out powerful AI tools like Google's Gemini and xAI's Grok to over 3 million people. That's military and civilian personnel. This is all about putting AI into everyone's hands, democratizing it across the entire force. So, when you put all of these pieces together, the crazy new tech, this speed wins doctrine, this obsession with velocity, what do you get? Well, you get a complete redefinition of modern warfare. We're talking about building a true human-machine future on the battlefield. And this comparison here, it really just lays it all out. On the left, you have the old way of doing things. Technology was just another tool in the toolbox. But look at the right, the new AI-native approach. AI isn't a tool, it's a foundational teammate. Instead of slow, centralized planning, you have constant experimentation in the field. Instead of waiting years for new gear, you're getting updates in days. It's a top-to-bottom operational overhaul. At the end of the day, the goal of this whole massive strategy is actually pretty simple. It's to build a military that can outthink, outmaneuver, and just plain outcycle any adversary. It all comes down to achieving something they call decision superiority, which is just a fancy way of saying making better decisions way, way faster than the other guy. Which, of course, leaves us with a really profound question, and one I want you to think about. As AI stops being just a tool and becomes this agentic teammate, something that can actually plan and act on its own, what does that mean for the future role of the human soldier? Where do they fit in?
So what do you think? What is the future of the human soldier in an AI-driven military? Is this just the inevitable next step for defense, or are we overlooking some major risks here? I'd love to hear your take, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you got some value out of this explainer, hitting that like button and sharing it really helps us out. And of course, if you want more explainers on the technology that's shaping our world, make sure you subscribe to A World with AI and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.